Welcome back to the Fairview Church podcast. My name is Drew Fraley. I'm the student minister here, and I am with Paul Bennett. And so we are super excited to be here to talk about something very important, which is the car clinic. But before we do that, Paul, I would love for you to just introduce yourself, where you're from, how long you've been here at Fairview, and where do you serve on a weekly basis?
Okay. So I'm originally from Hermitage, which is a suburb of Nashville. Grew up here in the local area. Kathy and I started coming to Fairview in 2012. Have been here ever since. Got connected with several things. So right now I serve on the security team, and I also am one of the leaders for CR. And then, there's other. I help with the building group and things like that. So, but that's about it.
Yeah. But no doubt involved on a weekly basis for sure.
Yes.
But another big way you serve is obviously an event that we have, which is the car clinic. And so not many people may know what that is, if they're new or maybe have really just never heard of it. So what is the car clinic? Kind of what's the heart behind it? And how does that really show people Christ's love to our neighbors?
Okay. Well, the car clinic was born out of a community group. It was a community group that Ricky and Lacey Alderette attended. They were wanting to reach out to the community and trying to find ways, better ways to reach to the community. And actually, the car clinic is a child of the mission market.
Yeah.
So we were doing the missions market first, and then Ricky got together with a couple of other mechanics that he was friends with, and to go to other churches, and the idea was kind of born from there.
Mm-hmm.
And so each year they added one more thing, and trying to meet the needs, and then it just kind of exploded from there. And one of their visions was James chapter 1 verse 27. And that's kind of has been our motto going through for the rest of the time.
Yeah. So I think one of the coolest things about the car clinic is not only is it here at Fairview, so you kind of get people who, maybe have never stepped foot on this property to come here, to actually experience a community that loves them deeply. And so not only are we helping them financially, which we'll get into later, but we're also just having conversations with them.
Yes.
Being able to just walk through any of the struggles they're walking with, and just talk with them and care for them so deeply.
Yes.
And for some people, that means obviously so much, as we don't even know what these people are bringing in when it comes to any struggles. But with that probably comes with many stories you've probably have about how the car clinic has actually helped people. And so would you love to share some of those stories of just how the car clinic has impacted other people?
I do have one story, but for the most part, these ladies come in here, they're just need help, and so a lot of the ladies, they're just grateful to have someone take time to look at their car. They're even more blown away when they find out that there's no cost for the repairs.
Yeah.
All this is done for free. And then when they go inside, they can have a meal. They have smiling faces, people that'll sit and pray with them, or just, they just want to talk. If they have any questions, some of them we've had 2, I believe, so far that have decided to start attending Fairview Church.
That's awesome.
So, that is a kind of a byproduct of what this is. But our goal is to share Jesus in a tangible way, and through meeting their needs, for the cars, we're solving a big problem for them.
Yeah.
That car is their way of getting back and forth to work, getting their children to events, or back and forth to school, daycare. And as far as a widow, one of the stories that came out of this year, we had a lady that just lost her husband, probably about 3 months from inside the car clinic.
Yeah.
and she had a pickup truck that had the tailgate would not open and close. And it was something that her husband had been saying he was going to fix, and, just never got around to it. And we got that fixed for her so that she could use the bed of the truck. And that just meant the world to her, that we were able to do that. And so it's just little things like that. Another story out of this year, and then I'll get to the one I wanted to get to. We had a 1994 Chevy Blazer come in, and we completely rebuilt the suspension, front and back, on that car. Now, it took us all day to do it, but, and the lady was just so thankful, because it was actually dangerous for her to be operating that vehicle. Yeah. So, but we had 2 years ago a car that came in, and it just needed the front axle replaced on it. Started to work on that car at 11 o'clock that morning. We finished at 11 o'clock that night.
Wow.
4 different mechanics worked on that car trying to get the axle out of it, and just could not get the axle out of it. And that lady was just absolutely blown away that we stayed there, stuck to it, and got her car fixed for her. In fact, she was so grateful, she started helping Lacey clean up.
Wow.
So again, just part of the reach out, part of, being a part of this community, and, helping people that really need to be helped in a biblical way, and that's exactly what the Bible tells us to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things is this car clinic helps, if I'm not wrong, single mothers, primarily, just to be able to, again, help them get the need they need on any of their car, what that looks like. And so, that could look like a simple oil change or something that takes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. But again, it's more than just fixing something on their car, but actually, developing a relationship with them, caring for them in tangible ways, but also just having people there to talk with them. And so how valuable that is, not only financially, of course, but also just for them as single mothers, having someone they know, having a community that actually supports them can be so, so big. And so obviously with all of fixing and using different parts, how does the car clinic gain support to be able to do this work that's really hard and also costs just a lot of money to be able to provide a free service to these single mothers?
Right. So the people that are in we call it the work area, of course, are mechanics, and then there are 2 ladies one of the husbands is one of the lead mechanics that works, and then the other lady, her husband also helps out. They order all the parts, and they get with, I don't think I need to use the name, but they get with one of the parts places, and they give us a budget, and they say, okay, you have to stay within this budget. And so we order their parts during the day from them, and then we have parts runners that go back and forth. But the outreach to different, that started with Ricky and Lacey. Ricky knew several mechanics that were going to different churches, and those guys are just absolutely fantastic. They get here at 8 o'clock in the morning, have to set up their area, because we have like 8 to 10 different areas that we bring the cars into, because we couldn't get this done without, having one area for this and one area for that. They all work together. Even when they have the stubborn car, you'll have mechanics walking back and forth trying to help each other out and everything. But those guys coming from different churches, coming from different, like one works for Nissan, the other one works for, Ricky has his own place, and I believe the other one has his own garage. But just connections, different connections that you make by owning your own business or working in the mechanic world, parts houses, other mechanics, and things like that. Last year, one of the mechanics brought 2 of his helpers with him, but Nissan has helped us out. Cadillac has helped us out, with mechanics. And, again, some of the independent mechanics have come along too.
Yeah.
And they all understand that this is a community outreach. And we, in the work area, don't get to see the customer a lot because you don't want the customer in the work area. We don't need anybody to get hurt or anything. But I have talked to some of the ladies that hand out food and stuff like that, and just the joy. You can see the joy in their face from what they're doing, and being able to talk to these ladies and being able to just be one day giving them a breath,
Absolutely.
To be able to relax.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things is this is not only helping us as a church know what it looks like to live on mission outside of like a Sunday or a Wednesday.
Right.
One of the big reasons is because there's a lot of people, even in our church, who are good with cars and can be at a service to help fix various things. And
Most
so
definitely.
using their skills to be able to not only serve the local church, but also help people in need. So how have you seen that come to life? Actually, people living really outside of the walls on a Sunday or Wednesday and living beyond Sunday.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. I mean, we have people from the church that are great mechanics. They come in, they help out. We have guys that are, kind of like me. I was the old shade tree mechanic, and now the cars have kind of gotten out of I can do some small things on them, but any kind of major repairs. But and then the people that work on the inside. Well, I started out helping by cooking hamburgers.
Yeah.
And I, as I watched to see all the areas that needed to be done, I was like, I can be a bigger help in this area by doing, what I do right now is I make sure that the car goes from the front to the work area and gets back to the customer.
Yeah.
And make sure the documentation and everything's correct. But we have people that just sit with the ladies and talk with them, and again, it's not just from our church.
Yeah.
We have people from other churches. We had some people from some of the churches up the street that come in and help out that, I want to say it's First Baptist Church in Mount Juliet, fixed care bags.
Wow.
For all the
Awesome.
ladies, to have to take home, and they had candy for the children and little things in there. I know 2 years ago we had a lady come in and did their nails and stuff while they waited on their car,
Yeah.
And it's just outreach like that. And, it's, again, it all goes back to the discipleship that Jesus told us we need to do. Outreach to, widows and orphans, and of course, we do single moms too, and or we help the single moms, and it's just fulfilling what the church is supposed to do.
Yeah, and you can clearly see the impact, especially in something like this. And so, do you know how many cars you guys serviced last year?
No, I don't know how many cars, but I know last year all of our volunteers put together, we did 192 work hours. That was labor, which came out to $20,000 and $20,188. And then the parts that were donated was $8,810.
Yeah.
As far as volunteers, I'd put it in a round number. I'd say it was well over 50 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know cars that we worked on last year, we worked on a total of 44 cars last year.
That's awesome.
And that was in an 8-hour period.
Wow. Yeah. So a lot of hands needed for sure.
Yes.
And there is probably a lot of people who maybe are listening to this that probably could not help with cars. They're thinking in their head, they're like, there's no way, I don't even know how to change a tire, maybe even my own oil or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they still want to be involved. So how can we kind of touched on this of being able to just maybe be the person that just talks with the single moms.
Yes.
But what are some other things that people can do that can help serve the car clinic, and maybe they're not the most car intelligent?
Right. There are so many areas. So we need valets. We need people that work in the front that check the cars in and check the ladies in. Information people to let the ladies know that, your car is probably going to take about this long to fix. And, because we do have some of the ladies that come and just drop their car off and then they leave. We also have people that cook. We have people that serve food. We have several of the youth that have a cart that they go around and they'll have drinks on them and chips and stuff like that just to hand out. The valets that drive the cars around and park them when they're done. And just people that are there just to talk, just to sit down with them and talk, see how their day's going. And then Lacey and two other of the ladies they're our information ladies. So what they do is they keep in contact with the area to see how a car is doing, how far along are we on it, when are we expecting for it to be completed, just so that we can keep the ladies in touch with what's going on with their vehicle and everything. And then, of course, when it's done, I take the packet to one of those ladies and let them know this is what was done to the car. If there's anything else that needs to be done to it, because they also get a free oil change. Christian Brothers has come in partnership with us, and so one weekend, usually about a month after the car clinic, they give us a bay so that the ladies can bring their cars in and get a free oil change on it too.
That's awesome.
Just there's so many different areas, and also we can always use a couple of extra hands. Parts runners. They actually drive from Fairview to one of the auto parts places that we're in partnership with to pick up parts and bring them in and everything like that. And of course, we have to have people that check the parts in and make sure they go to the right tent. So a lot of moving parts and a lot of volunteer work. So if you want to volunteer for this and you're just not sure what you want to do, I can guarantee you we can find an area that you'll fit and you'll enjoy. And at the end of the day, you've served God.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a need for more people to come on and serve. And again, no matter what skill set you have, what that looks like, there's definitely a place for you. And so, but again, it's serving our community as a local church, coming together and really meeting needs, and how we can actually see the local church affect the community that's in, affect Lebanon for these single moms. And so, again, there's probably so many stories that we could probably talk about how this has impacted people, again, not only financially, but just maybe even spiritually, being able to have just conversations with someone who cares as they're going through a difficult time. And you've even mentioned how some of these ladies have actually started coming to Fairview. And so how this not only has, a one-day change of we're going to change your oil, but this is actually something where they've seen lasting impact, or they've become to come to church, become actually a part of this community, the same community that helped them, and how actually beautiful that is. And so obviously the car clinic is really kind of soon. We're kind of approaching. And so if you would want to be a part of that team, we would love for you to do that. Again, no matter what your skill set looks like, there's a spot for you to be able to, again, serve the local church, but also serve your community in a real tangible way. And so that will be April 18th for us to be able to, again, set up the tent out here, kind of get hot and sweaty, but again, work hard for your community. And so if you want to be a part of that, feel free to reach out. Paul would be a great resource. Ricky and Lacey would be a great resource, just to be able to be a part of that team. And so, well, thank you so much, Paul, for being able to walk through what the car clinic is and how that has impacted not only our community, but will continue to impact our community in the days in the future. So we're super excited for what that will look like. Not only April 18th, but in the future. And so thank you for joining us, and thank you guys for listening. Again, if you would love to be a part of that team, feel free to reach out, and we will see you on Sunday.